Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Eden's Gem. If this is the first time we're crossing path, I am Annette Day. I love all things educating, equipping, empowering, and sometimes entertaining. Before we delve into this episode, let's give a shout out to our production team, Blessed Dream Production and Eyes Have Not Seen. They're not here on set with me, but this video will not be able to get to you without some editing, and that's why we give them a shout out. The month of December for the Beauties of Eden community, and for me personally, our theme is Reflection December. And out of Reflection December is what brought me to the current location that I'm shooting from. This is not a virtual background, it is actually a real background that you can see there, right there, right? You see the palm branches moving. In October, I usually sit down and I do what I call an audit or examination or assessment, a quarterly assessment. In this episode, I didn't even know what to title it. I just wanted to have a heart conversation with you. And so I don't have 5 steps, but I want us to look at how reflection is helping me end my year well. How the theme of reflection is helping me to end my year well. In October, when I sat down to look and assess my year, I realized that most of my goals that I had set for the year, I was able to check it off. But then out of nowhere, I felt this need that in the month of December, I needed to sit down at a beautiful location, a peaceful, a relaxing atmosphere, sit with my husband for us to do a year-end review and a forecast, a vision and a forecast for the upcoming year 2026. We already, for the first time, had been booked to go to Manchester, UK for ministry. I say for the first time is in the 19 years that I've known him, January will be 20 years exactly since I met my husband. We've never had or traveled together for ministry or alone as a couple. It's either we travel independently or we travel as a family. We made the decision as a young couple 19 years ago never to travel together, leaving our children behind. And sometimes we set traditions that serve us well in one season, but we carry it along the line without further assessment. So when the opportunity came for us to travel together from the United States to the United Kingdom, Manchester, we kind of had a bit of a challenge. But we sat down, as always, we looked at the pros, we looked at the cons, and we decided it was worth taking that trip together. 1, our children are a little bit older. 2, it was Thanksgiving break. So we didn't have to put the burden of trying to offload the schedule of 4 children on somebody that is not used to their routine. And that made it easy for us to travel. But then right before we traveled, I had this brilliant idea for us to go away to have this year-end assessment and, like I said, a forecast for the upcoming year. And the only logical and available dates that was available for us to do so was to be home for like 3 days after our Manchester trip and then go away. It seemed impossible. It seemed that we've never done this before. What is going to happen to our children's schedule? What if it snows? But the more I thought about it, the more I was convinced that we needed this trip. We needed this trip as a couple. We needed this trip as ministry partners. We needed this trip as best friends. We needed this trip as parents. So I was very, adamant, I was determined, and as a wife, I was able to convince my husband because we also had a gift that had been given to us, and it was something that was sitting down in our account, the gift to travel, and it would have expired December 11th if not used. So instead of it going to waste, I was like, no, we're not going to watch this thing go to waste. Let us figure out a way to do it. And that's what brought us to my current location. We're actually in Cancun, Mexico, and this is the first time we've been here. How does that come into reflection? When we sat in the flight coming in, I had prepared 18 questions that we were going to go through as a couple. Individual questions, collective questions, questions that had to do with our health, our wellness, our spirituality, our emotions, our finance, and our family collectively. And I tell you, it has been a refreshing 4 days. It's the fourth day that we've been here. And I wouldn't have enjoyed this beautiful view. Today we took a long hour walk by the beach. I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the power of reflection. It seemed all and all odds against it. But when I sat and I looked, there was a way. And that is what I want to inspire you. I understand that there are so many things that makes the dream that we have impossible. And it's valid. It is oftentimes valid reason. But I've also come to believe through the power of reflection that there's always a way and there's always an excuse. So as the year is coming to an end, just like for 19 years, I had convinced myself there's no way I can travel because of my children. There's no way not travel. There's no way my husband and I could travel because of our children. Yes, it was valid when the children were much younger. As a family and as a couple, we have raised our children mostly by ourselves, meaning we have not had nannies, we have not had in-laws, we have not had parents come in and babysit our children. Occasionally, we church members would help us. And I remember for our 15th year anniversary, we flew my dad in from Canada to come and stay with the children. And that was the first time that we went to celebrate our 15-year wedding anniversary. That was a few years ago. But my dad is aging. My parents are aging. And we don't want to keep putting on the burden on them. But when I reflected, I was able to see what time works. We were able to see we can go to Manchester instead of saying no right off the bat. We're able to see, oh, it falls around Thanksgiving, the children will be home. We had friends that would be able to check in on them. We made an arrangement even on this trip for a couple to come and take care and stay at home with the children. They could do their own thing. My daughter is almost 18 years old, my oldest, and then I have 3 boys. They are matured enough. They've been trained to do their own thing, pack their own lunch. Barely do I get up early in the morning now to take care of them. So I want you to walk through maybe these next 3 things that has helped me. Number 1, sit down and ask yourself, what were my goals coming into 2025? Have I met those goals? If I did not meet those goals, why? Were there circumstances beyond my control? And if so, the Bible says that when you've done all that you can, stand. If you've put in all your effort and things came at you beyond your control, there's no point in walking through this year while you're breathing and feeling sorry for yourself. If you looked at it and the reason why you didn't accomplish your goals is because you gave up on yourself, maybe you didn't set crystal clear visions, then the next few days, you may not have access or the ability to go to a location like this. But it's impossible to take a vacation day, because I know some of us, we may still have accrued vacation from work, but we don't want to. Take it for whatever reason. Can you take one day? It doesn't have to be a beach. Go to the library, stay at home, create the ambience, turn on a candle, get your journal, and begin. Start off by praying and asking God what He has in store for you for the upcoming year. And then lastly, no matter how the year has gone, my year has not gone perfect. I've shed many tears, some behind closed doors, but I did not make my dwelling at a place of depression. No matter what you're going through, you're breathing, and I want you to focus on every breath that you inhale and exhale and thank God for it. Recently, I had what I call the year-end audit, and it was a free workshop, webinar, however you call it, and it was audit for people to come, and it was a 4-hour workshop. The replays are available for $25 if you want it. It's 4 hours that I sat down. But it's something that we did. And I asked this question with the audience. How do you feel when you think about the year 2026, the approaching year? Some people said uncertainty, some people said scared, some people, all other emotions, which makes sense. It's valid. But the question is, how you perceive a thing is how it's going to be. The Bible says that life and death lies in the power of the tongue, and we shall eat the fruit thereof. Whatever it is that we're saying, we're believing, our mind is set on, that is what will become our reality. So I want to leave you with that question. When you think about 2026, what emotion do you feel? Do you feel scared? Do you feel anxious? Then don't. Because you have a very big God who loves you so much and has your name engraved in the palm of His hand. You have a very, very big God who is not sending you into 2026 just to make your life miserable. A lot of Christians know the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have towards you, declares the Lord. Plans of hope, to give you a future and a hope, to prosper you. Every time God thinks about your future and He thinks about my future, the grand scheme and the end result is that He is giving us a bright future. I want that to be your foundational belief system as you face each day. The thing is, He did not promise us that life is going to be easy. The prophet Jeremiah, that is promising this, spent majority of his time in prison. But take time and read Jeremiah and read Lamentations, which is believed that Jeremiah wrote. Even in a dungeon, in a prison, God instructed Jeremiah to buy land. So you may be in a prison, and maybe we are focusing just on the prison. But let me tell you, even in hardships, God can cause you to build, to buy, and to establish a legacy. If we will take our eyes off the crisis, if we will take our eyes off the dungeon and shift our focus to the voice of this big, big God, then yes, you may be surrounded with a dungeon, but you'll be able to do exploits. I pray that just this view, for if you're watching and not just listening, inspires you. Because coming into 2025, if anybody had told me that I will be in a space like this, I wouldn't have believed it. Not because I said financially I couldn't afford it, but I had believed a tradition and a culture that was set by me that I don't do this kind of stuff. This morning, we went for breakfast, and my husband was saying, it's amazing how in the past I would have been the one that's saying this and you would come up with all these excuses. But he said, now I'm the one that was hesitant. He said, thank you for pushing me and making sure that you were determined to come, because it's been one of the favorite and the best things that we've done together as a couple. And I pray that your own limited mindset, your own set traditions is not preventing you from enjoying the life that God has for you. God bless you. and I'll see you in the next episode.